Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Jasmina from Jasmina Prosperous Astrology, and today I have a special guest, Letao Wang, Asian astrologer and writer, and many different things. He will introduce himself in more details. You might remember him from last year where we talked about the dragon year, and today I'm honored that he had some time to spare to talk about the upcoming new snake wood year. So welcome, Latao. How are you?
Very well. Yeah, thank you so much for having me again this year.
Oh, I'm so excited. I feel that this year is going to be very excited. So um, please tell us more about what's upcoming. What is different from the dragon year that was very
Mhm.
uplifting and very positive? What is the snake year then?
Mm. So we are actually seeing a very significant energetic vibration change
Mhm.
from the year of dragon to the year of snake. So I think we talked about this last year, right? When it comes to the dragon year, it was all about power, ambition, structure, focus,
Mhm.
and it's very sort of like a yang energy, right? I mean,
Mhm.
dragon is considered a more of a masculine energy in the zodiac sign. But when we enters the year of snake, we are switching from the yang to yin. And snake,
Mhm.
if we see the dragon as the emperor, which is also how the ancient Chinese people used to
Mhm.
see, we used to see our emperors as the reincarnation of dragons. So if we see the dragon year as the emperor, then the snake here would actually be the imperial advisor for the emperor. So this is a little bit like that old man, right, working his whole life next to the emperor. And when the emperor is a little bit going too crazy, trying
Okay.
to conquer everything. And the advisor be like, okay, we'll whisper some wisdom at the emperor's ear to calm him down, and we'll sort of
Mhm.
like give him a little bit, the yin energy to balance him back. To the harmony. So snake here is all about introspection. It's about understanding the inner wisdom. So I usually associate with the snake here with the tarot card, the Hermit. It's a
Uh-huh.
little bit like that, right? So if the dragon is the emperor, then definitely the snake is the hermit. It's also about reflecting on the past journey, and so that we're gaining a little bit new knowledge and wisdom about who we are, what has been the journey so far for us, and what we need to adapt, and most importantly is what we need to actually release because a snake is also about shedding the old skin. So this is about changing transformation, right? Going into the new cycle, but kind of like not just going to the new cycle blindly, but also we have to sum things up. We have to finish, complete something before we enter even the year after the year of snake. As you know, it's going to be the year of horse, and the horse again back to this young energy.
That's me.
Yeah,
I'm a horse.
yeah. So the horse is again about that kind of young energy, right? It's about momentum, galloping, travel, going outward. And so the snake year could be a very good year for us
Mm.
to kind of like sit back and reflect. Yeah. And
I think it's much
especially,
needed. Sorry to interrupt you. I just feel that it's much needed.
yeah.
And it's interesting how it correlates with the nodes moving from
Mm,
the north node moving from Aries to Pisces, the north node, the head of the dragon, right? So it's also about
mm.
finishing the cycle, retrospective, Piscean energy, right? So it's very interesting that it comes
Oh,
together.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially this year, we're having the snake paired up with the yin wood energy.
Hmm.
So in the Chinese metaphysics, right, and there are five elements, and even we actually divide the five elements into yin and yang. So even for the wood snake, we have the yin wood and the yang wood.
Mm.
And so this year we have the snake, which is the yin energy, and the wood is also the yin wood. So what's the difference between the yin wood and the yang wood? Yang wood is like a tree. You can
Hmm.
imagine the Yangwood energy is like a huge tree, right? Like, very high, and probably it's like hundreds of years old, that kind of solid tree. And the root can go as far as, I don't know, hundreds of meters down. But the inwood is like grass. The grass, the vines, right? Things that are kind of like rather than this kind of solid tree, it's more like grasses and flowers and the
Mm.
soft things actually growing on the earth. And so that's again, showing that we need to be very flexible. We need to be very adaptable. And this year, it's a lot of the this kind of so-called wisdom is actually coming to us when we are actually letting go of that aggressiveness, when we can actually let go of that rigid mentality. Yeah. Because you can imagine, like when I think of a vine, I think of like grapes,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
or maybe morning glory. Those plants, they will just go around a pole and they keep climbing. It's very soft. Yeah? It's very kind of like twisty. Yeah. So it's a little bit like that kind of energy. You have to go with the flow rather than
Mm.
bang. I'm the tree. It's a
I
little
I
bit like
like
that.
it. I like it. I like it. So as I understand it, we need to kind of tune in more into our intuition, our inner
Correct. Yeah.
feeling, right? And just be
Yeah.
listen to our inner voice more than just act. So reflect on what happened. That's beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Yeah. Mm.
what do we need to maybe be more aware of? What is the downside maybe of this energy? Are we going to be more maybe too passive? Is that possible?
Mm. So snake energy, yes, it's very interesting because a lot of people tell me that, oh, I don't like snakes, they're kind of disgusting and things like that, right? And so the dangerous thing about snake is because snake, they kill and then they
Mhm.
heal. Okay, so it's toxic, but also a lot of the antidote that we make, medically speaking, to cure
Mhm.
poison is actually coming from the snake anyway. So the
Yeah.
snake, the snake actually gives us the poison, but also it gives us the antidote to heal the
Mhm.
pain. So some of the challenges actually we have is probably we will have the need to have the courage to face our
Mhm.
past. What
It,
kind of things have wounded you, in the past, and can we actually have the courage to
Mhm.
look back and resolve those feelings, unresolved things? That requires a lot of courage, I think. Yeah. Mm.
Absolutely. And so it reminds me of the maybe the Pluto energy and facing the
Mm,
shadows and
mm,
because before we want to transform, we need to kind of deal and maybe there's a
yeah.
need to kill something from the past before a new thing is born. Yeah,
100%. Yeah. Actually, since you mentioned Pluto, right? Because
yeah.
Pluto is in Aquarius, it's in a fixed air
Mm.
sign. One of the I don't know why, like recently I've had a lot of clients, Scorpio clients, right? Either the
Hmm.
sun or moon in Scorpio. And the Scorpio, definitely they're affected by this Pluto transit because it's a
Yeah,
square.
yeah.
And what I learned actually in the early days with my teacher was that actually snake is a form of Scorpio. So
Oh,
Scorpio as
wow.
a zodiac sign has three layers of energy. The lowest vibration of Scorpio
Ah,
energy is actually a scorpion. So it stings. It's about
um,
revenge. It's about, spite, right? But then as a scorpion, when you go up a level, then you become a snake. Then you gain wisdom. Then you understand how to heal from that. And then the highest level of Scorpio is actually a phoenix. And that actually is about the transformation energy of the Scorpio. And so when we talk about the Pluto in Aquarius, we're actually seeing how that relates to the snake year. So I think, I don't know why, just intuitively, I feel this year it's very important for Scorpios in Western astrology as well. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's
Mm.
good to know. I feel it. So it kind of tells us, okay, we have to go through pain, through some trauma and crisis, but then the solution and the is in us, right? So then we went through it and we
Oh,
can
it's
help others,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
then we can transform. Okay, so that's kind of
absolutely, yeah,
the
uh,
cycle.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
interesting. Okay, so now that you mentioned Scorpios in Western astrology, for the Chinese zodiac, which zodiac signs are going to benefit, the most? Who are friends with snake and who are not?
Mm. So the so-called Trinity, yeah, that's like, for example, in the Western astrology, we have the Trinity, right? The fire trine, the water trine, all these kind of things. As in Chinese zodiac, it's the same. So there are the different elements and they trining each other. So the two signs that are trining snake, one is ox and the other one is rooster.
Oh.
So these two are trining snake, and so they receive basically they are the friends with snake, and in Chinese astrology we say they
Mhm.
are the friends with the Grand Duke. meaning that you are being looked after by the god.
Mhm.
But actually, when we are looking at the energy of the 12 different signs, we're not just looking at Trinity, we're also looking at the protective stars that they're receiving during that year. And actually, the animal that is receiving the best stars this year actually is the horse.
Oh, lucky me then.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me why.
Yeah, yeah.
So tell
So
me why. How
horse,
come?
yeah, so the horse energy actually receives a lot of good stars when it comes to learning and study. So I would
Mm.
recommend to a lot of horse-born people, year-born people,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to go to some, for example, go back to school,
Mm-hmm.
get a degree, get a certificate, right? Classes, learning, re-education, even corporate training, right? Let's say you need to go through training, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It will be highly recommended because there are two stars really benefiting you. One is called literally the sun. The
Okay.
sun is shining on
Mm-hmm.
top of you, which brings a sense of warmth and positivity. And the other thing is called the study hall. And this is very good for learning and study. So specifically, I think if you are born in the year of horse, you need to take an exam this year.
Wow.
You're very blessed with that energy. Yeah.
Awesome.
Uh,
Awesome. Yeah, well, I'm pursuing some astrology studies as a
mm,
true Gemini. I always need to learn something. So
learn something.
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting for me. Thank you. That's good. So what about
Yeah.
ox and rooster? What do you recommend for them then? Because it's they're friends of a snake, as you
Yeah,
mentioned.
so Ox this year, so so-called Trinity is about divine intervention,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's about help. But apart from that, Ox has a very good star called the Elegant Seal, and that star is about creativity. So the Ox people this year, they're receiving a lot of creative inspirations from the sky. It's a little bit like, creative
Mm-hmm.
ideas, creative endeavors, if specifically if your work has something to do with
Mm-hmm.
creative expression. This could be a very good energy for ox. And for rooster, actually, rooster has been having a lot of good years. Last year was also not bad for roosters.
Okay.
This year, they're continuing receiving, good energy. Specifically, roosters will benefit a lot from their work because
Mm-hmm.
there are three stars helping them this year. One is called the three stages, meaning that they're leveling up, one step after another. They're getting to a higher position. And they also have the general star and the golden lock. These two stars protecting them, meaning that they need to fight for what they want. The generous
Mm-hmm.
star is a little bit like the chariot card in tarot.
Oh,
So it's a
okay.
little bit like needing you to drive the chariot, a little bit like the military man. You can't run away from things. You have to drive the chariot to the battlefield and hold your spear and say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna defend what I believe in, right? And so specifically, if this card if you have some kind of ambition, let's say rooster people listening to this
Mm-hmm.
podcast or this video, if you have a goal in front of you, the best advice I have for rooster is just go for it.
Ah,
And
perfect.
don't wait for things coming to you. Now, this energy is a little
Mm-hmm.
bit different from the snake energy because the general star and the golden log is all about yang. So the
Mm-hmm.
rooster people this year, they will need to find the balance, when to retreat
Mm-hmm.
and when to move forward.
Mm. Well, yeah, using intuition, I feel, and wisdom from previous experiences can really
Uh,
benefit, I feel, right? So we learn from our
yeah.
previous experience. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
Mm.
and then tell us who's gonna struggle this year.
Okay, so there's one sign. Struggle. I'm not sure if that's the right word to say because
Okay.
all signs have their struggles.
Okay.
Because we have the auspicious stars, we also have the
Mm-hmm.
challenging stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one sign that is particularly, I would say, needs a lot of patience, needs a lot of sort of like, what's the right word to describe that? Patience, or they need a little bit spiritual balance, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
within their mind, dealing with their emotion is
Mm-hmm.
for people born in the year of goat.
Oh.
Um, because first of all, this year, goat, you are not a part of the Trinity, so you're not really receiving the help from the snake. But also,
Mm.
the goat people are not actually having any auspicious stars protecting them at the
Ah.
same time. So what does that mean? Yeah, it does not mean that it's a bad year for goat, but it just means that you might be feeling that there's a lack of support, meaning
Mm.
that you have to do everything on your own. Okay,
Mm.
rather than somehow the universe just bring all the reward to you. And of course, every year there will be one animal that goes through that. Yeah. And so you actually, I wouldn't say you don't have any good stars. There is one good star. It's called the Bright Hall. But this
Mhm.
star is kind of weird because the Bright Hall is not really about now. It's more about a
Mm.
long-term future. It's a little bit like you're peeking through a window, right? Let's say you're peeking through a window and your current apartment is like, maybe not very good, right? It's a small
Okay.
apartment, it's kind of grungy, right? You don't like it, but you're peeking through the window, you're seeing a very beautiful apartment, maybe, hundreds of meters away from
Mm.
you, and you're imagining in your mind, you're thinking, one day I'm gonna live in there. One day that's gonna be
Mm.
my home. Now I don't live in there, but I can see how beautiful this apartment building is. The sun is shining on it. I can see the
Mm.
people living there. They're happy. Wow, one day I'll be there. It's a little bit like that. So this bright hall
Mm.
needs you to have hope, needs you to
Mm.
have something that you admire and you can actually believe that at some point you will get there. And this will bring you a lot of what's the right word? A lot of healing and also a lot of
Um,
positive thinking, and also associate this star, the bright hall, with the tarot card, the star.
but
It's
that's not.
about bringing hope. It's about bringing hope to the future. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, it is challenging in a way because you need to have faith and trust in something that is not tangible. And for us
Yeah.
humans, sometimes it's hard, to believe or to have
Yeah.
faith and trust in something that you can't do, especially
Mm.
surrendering yourself to higher something that is going to lead you and
Yeah.
not you. So I understand.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's very correlates with this North Node in Pisces that we as a collective also through Western
Mm.
astrology are talking about. So interesting. Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you can see it even in tarot, right? The star card
Mm.
appears after the tower. The
Yeah.
tower is number, I think it's number 16. Is that correct?
Hmm.
Sorry, 17, and the star is number 18, right? So in order for us to see the star, you have to go to the tower moment, the destruction. And
Yeah.
so goat people is a little bit like that. You're seeing that beautiful apartment building across the street, and you're believing that one day I'll get there. I will have what I want, but you have to go through a little bit, kind of like you have to have a little bit patience to work through that. Yeah. Mm.
Okay. Well, I hope that it's going to be good for them. Yeah. Anybody else you want to mention? Do you think it's important for this year or?
Yeah, so there are several animals that benefiting from love, okay,
Mhm.
romance. And I will mention first of all, the best one that again, it goes to horse. Horse
Mm.
actually has, no, I wouldn't say the best one, but definitely top two, yeah. Horse has this beautiful love star, which is called the peach blossom. This is
Mm.
usually bring love, romance, especially if you're single horse people, time to date,
Okay.
time to go out. If you're already partnered, this could be about bringing back love or bring back
Mm.
a sense of love into your life. The other
Beautiful.
one is a dog. All right, dog
Mhm.
people is blessed with the best romance star, which is called the red matchmaker. The red matchmaker usually brings the one in
Ah.
Chinese astrology, right? So it's not a random dating, like you date for someone for like 2 months and then finishes, right? The red matchmaker is the so-called the partnership, the right one. So
Oh.
dog people saying if you're single, go out dates, go out to look for, the one. And
Mhm.
the other two that is blessed, one is the rat. The rat actually has a star called a salty pool, which is a very funny name, yeah. And the other one is a monkey. The monkey also has, I think it's the salty pool. Let me have a look here. It's the red chamber, yeah. But these two are a little bit like lower than the
Mhm.
other two, yeah. So these two are very good when it comes to personal charm. So it
Ah.
not necessarily means that you will find love per se, but it does mean that this year you will feel that somehow people want to come to you. People want to
Mm.
give you attention because they find you attractive. There's some kind of
Ooh.
charm that you will lose actually this year for rat and monkey. And so this could actually not necessarily be used in love. Some people use it, for example,
Mhm.
if they are, let's say, a social media influencer.
Oh
This could be
yeah.
very useful because you look attractive, and the way you appear in front of people is attractive, and you could use that to bring you to build your brand, things like
Oh, so
that. Yeah,
yeah, so it's good to build followers or
yeah,
friends
yeah,
or
yeah,
networks or groups. If
yeah.
you are in a group
Correct.
or
Yeah,
you're kind of going to be a
yeah,
star in a group.
yeah.
Okay, I like that. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. It's a little bit like I usually see this as a little bit like a Venus. Venus in I don't know,
Um,
Venus in Aquarius. It's a little bit like that. Yeah. So love, but in a
uh,
networking way, not necessarily like lovey lovely, but it's good for personal attraction. Yeah.
But
There's
it's
no
good
time.
to have some friends who support you. That's very important in life. So that's having
100%. Yeah.
so yeah, so
Mm,
having that year that you have that, it's very amazing. That's amazing.
yeah.
That's beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
do you feel anybody having luck with money?
So a lot of the stars actually they have a lot of good career energy, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's also good for money. Like what I mentioned, one sign that is good with career and money is the rooster.
Okay.
Rat is also good because the rat has the emperor star, right?
Mm.
So this is about, your authority, you taking control, you command your space. Now the other one that I want to mention is actually the rabbit.
Ooh.
Rabbit people last year they didn't have a good year. Okay, rabbit
Mm.
people last year they only had one star helping them, which is called the rest god, which is telling them to sleep, and that doesn't help with their career. But this year they have a star called the prosperity medal, and this will
Mm.
bring money. Specifically, I think this
Ah.
one is very good for money, for fortune, monetary fortune, right? So I think this year could be good for rabbit people to, for example, if you want to study something about investment, right? Try to invest
Mm-hmm.
in something and how to generate more wealth. That could be very good. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Oh, cool. I know you mentioned last time we spoke, there's like a year and then there's a month when you were born and a day and a week of the month. We don't want to go there now, but I remember it was that's very interesting because it narrows down into more
Yeah.
detail and then you can go and
Yeah.
specifically. So if anybody wants a reading with you about that, I think they can have it with you, right? In more detail.
Mm-mm.
So I just want to
But
advertise a little bit of
yeah.
your work.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So it's called the four pillars. Yeah. The four
Yes.
pillars. Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why, this is in general, but you can go really. I don't remember you told me it goes really, and it's connected with I Ching, I as well. So it's very
I Ching.
I
Yeah.
Ching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's
I
very
Ching
interesting.
study. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very
Mm.
interesting. Okay, so that's it. Do you have any other? I know we can talk about it a lot, but
Mm.
anything special that you wanna maybe are there a special time of the year that are especially
Mm.
good
Yeah.
or anything else?
Mm, so I guess maybe the last message I want to give is for
Hmm.
snake people because this is going to be your
Okay.
own year, right? So if you're
Okay.
born the year of snake, right? Now there is some myth about that. Some people say when it's your own year, it's not good. Some people say when it's your own year, it is good. So as a professional, I'd like to debunk this
Ah,
thing and talk
okay.
about when it's your own year, what does that actually mean? I actually
Good.
talked about this with in a different podcast several days ago. Yeah. So imagine if you are organizing an alumni. Let's say you
Mm.
are organizing a dinner, right, with the kids you used to go to school with, and after 20 years, you're seeing each other again. When it's your own year, it's a little bit like you going to that dinner, but you are not just going there to eat. You have to be the organizer.
Yeah.
You are the one calling everyone, getting everyone's schedule, and then calling the restaurant, making the reservation. You also have to ask everyone, what do you eat, what do you not eat, right? Do you have any allergies? And you have to get all the transportation right? Give everybody the right information, looking at the time, everything. So when it's your own year, the reason why people don't like it is because it's pressure. It
Mm.
means all eyes on you. Everybody is depending on you to make the
Mm.
decision. Everybody is depending on you to take the action. And everybody else is just, okay, I'm just going to show up and eat, right? And have a great time. But you have job to do. And so snake people this year, you will feel a little bit pressured. You will feel somehow everyone is depending on you to make
Mm.
decisions and to take actions. But if you are handling this very well, then you will also be rewarded. At the dinner,
Mm.
people will raise glass to you and say thank you for doing this. And at the end of the dinner, people will also say thank you to you for organizing everything, even though you're busy. So this responsibility will not go wasted.
Ah,
To put it that way. So
yeah,
if
yeah.
you're a snake, it's your own year. Know that, okay, so you have the Grand Duke with you, meaning the pressure, the responsibility. But if you can do the problem solving and make sure that you are responsible for everything that you are doing and you have the patience to go through that, there will be tremendous reward waiting for you.
Oh, that's great. But that's the best kind of reward, anyways. I feel that if you earned it, right? If it's given to you, sometimes you feel like, but if you earned, right? Isn't that's how I feel. I'm a Virgo rising. I don't know. I'm just not.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But you know what? But a lot of people they actually don't want that. They just want something to be given. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But then
but
it's me.
depends. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
depends.
Yeah. Depends. Yeah. Yeah. Depends. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so I just want to mention another thing. Um, I know there's a lot of we have a wood a snake now, but if you are a fire snake or a water snake, what does that mean to you? Are you still under pressure, or
Mm.
is there a
So
difference?
So yeah, so actually we wouldn't look too much into the year, right? The so-called the fire, the element, right? So
Okay.
usually, personally to you, we're not looking at the pillar of the year, we're looking at the pillar of the day. So when we say, for example, so far in this video, we're saying, oh, you were born the year of a snake, a dragon, we're talking about your year pillar. So
Yeah.
you were born the year of snake, but usually, when it comes to really your personal element, we're not really looking at the year. We have to look at the day pillar. So, for example,
Mm.
if the snake is the animal on your day pillar, and the element is, for example, is fire or wood or whatever, that would uh, that would be more personal to you.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, yeah, the four pillars, right? There are also two lines, right? So in total, there are eight things we need to write down in the chart. So the lower line is the four animals,
Mm.
according to the four pillars. And on top, also there are four, and there are also the four pillars, but they are the four different elements. So maybe the year
Mm.
of the snake, you were born as a fire snake, but the month pillar, you have ox with wood. But maybe the day pillar, you have
Mm.
monkey with
Oh,
metal.
yes.
Okay,
I
you know what I
remember.
mean? Yes.
I remember. I
And
remember. You told me last time. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's
yeah,
it's a layer upon the layer, so it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But the
So,
most important thing actually we're seeing is a day pillar rather than the year pillar for something that is personal. Yeah. Mm.
yeah. If you go more deep down, then it's more
Yeah.
personal. This is more general.
Yeah.
If talking like that, yeah, yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Excellent.
But
Uh,
but 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 I
mhm,
think fire is generally speaking good because if because this year we're having the year of wood snake.
mhm,
This year carries a year of wood, right? In Chinese astrology, wood generates fire. So if
mm.
you are a fire, that means the wood energy this year will generate more energy for you. Yeah.
Oh, that yeah, 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 you told me. And if you or some elements don't go with each other, so
Yeah.
that sometimes they have a hardship. Yeah. Well,
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Well, you guys, you have to follow
Yeah. To find out. Yeah.
if find out everything. I know it's a interesting. When you dive into the journey, it's just beautiful. Your revelation of
Yeah.
of these layers and layers. Oh, perfect. Okay, I think we're half an hour. I think we got most of it covered. Any last messages about this year that you want to personally tell to people? What do you, from your experience, or maybe from people you know, what would you give as an advice?
Just look forward to this refresh in energy. And I think what we just need to know is at the highest level what the snake energy is about, right? So whatever you're encountering with, just remember that this year is all about transforming things into your wisdom. And once
Beautiful.
you are looking at things at that level, and that's all we need to know as a collective. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, lots of changes on. If I look at the Western astrology, lots of changes here as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, interesting. Before we finish this, please let everybody know where they can
Mm,
find you and what do you have
mm.
going on right now at the moment.
Sure. Yeah, so people can find me through my official Instagram. I believe that this will be put on Instagram, right? So people can see it easily. My official website is www.thehealingkingdom.com. And people can contact me through my website for personal reading session booking. And also, I'm sure some of you guys already know, last year I published two Oracle decks. Oracle of the Mythic Heroes and Oracle of the Celestial Deities. If you like Roman Greek mythology and astrology, I believe these two decks will be the one for you. And this year, I will have my third Oracle deck coming out in August. I'm not going to release a name yet,
Oh,
but very
exciting!
soon. Yeah,
Uh,
within about, I would say a month or two, yeah, I will make an official announcement. And same, this will be published by the same publisher and also will be distributed globally through Simon and Schuster.
Perfect. Oh, I'm so excited. Yes, actually, I wanna get, I'm just starting to go into the Oracle cards, and start
Yeah, yeah.
using them. It's so I think I want to get the mythology one from you. I was looking at it last year. I think it's
Thank
beautiful.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, yeah. Anyway,
Mm.
so that's something on my thing. Uh,
No, especially because you're a Western astrologer, right? I
yes.
mean, I think because you're into astrology, you definitely like both these two decks because they are very astrology related.
Yeah. And there's a story. And
Yeah,
I love stories as a Gemini. There's
yeah,
always a story behind
yeah,
everything, and each
yeah.
card and this and they're very beautiful. The design, I know
Mm,
that. So
mm,
yeah,
mm.
highly recommend. Excellent. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're busy. This was a brief but very informative and interesting. Thank you very much. And guys, if you need anything, I'm going to put all the links below where you can that you can follow Litao and find everything and book a reading with him. Thank you very much one more time, and all the best. And talk soon.
Thank you. Have a good year. Thank you.
Bye.